today's session, we have something called as connect to database, then sending email through Outlook, then how to secure my dashboard. It can be either code wise or the page wise. Then how to finalize my dashboard, all the reports what I've created. So finally, how I should actually send it to the client or the user. So these things will be learning in today's sessions. Coming to the first part, connect to database. The connecting to database means we can connect it to many database, like we have SQL server, we have access, we have Oracle, or any of these databases we can actually connect. So it is actually easy. Many people think that it is very difficult, but few things if you understand and keep in mind, 100% this connecting to database or any other connections will be very easy. So for this, what actually we should do, I'll just show you. I'll go to the editor, and here I have created one simple code for you guys. The code's actually what we have here. It's little difficult to remember, but still I'll just tell you what actually we have done here so that it will be easy for you to work on this. I know most of you are not from database background or say SQL background. So what I'll do is I'll just explain this because you guys might not understand. It will be little difficult to understand because these terms are completely on the SQL part. Okay, but still I'll make it easy for you, and I've given so many codes here with simple examples. Right. Whenever I'm connecting any database from Excel, the first thing what we should do is we have to create a connection. In the previous session, we also saw how to connect from Excel to PPT. So what did we do? We went to this tools, references, and then we tried to take this Microsoft PowerPoint, then object library. Similarly, if I'm actually connecting, say now we are trying to connect, I'll show you how to connect from Excel to Access because both are Microsoft product. And also I'll explain you how to connect for various other databases as well. So just concentrate on it. But you don't have to code every time. So there are some ready codes which will be available, but you should understand the code. Now to connect from Excel to MS Access. So what I should actually do, go to this tools, references. Here we have something called as Microsoft ActiveX Data Objects Library. This ADO objects, what we call ActiveX data objects, this will connect from Excel to your ADO objects, that is database objects. Now once I select this, I'll say okay, now my connection for Excel to Access is ready. But it just like giving a connection, say just giving these references and giving that Microsoft ActiveX object data object library will not give me the results. So we have to write some simple code. Let's go back to our previous session of PPT automation. Here we just try to connect, and then what we did, we connected with the application, then presentation and the slide. Similarly here what we have to do is we have to connect the database. So first what we did is we tried to get the libraries that we did from tools and references and ActiveX data objects. Now we are trying to take the libraries. Now what we'll do is we'll try to create the connection. So for that, what we did is we have to take one data type, that is connection. So this connection is actually a data type which will help me in connecting from Excel to Access. Then next one is the connection string. These are the two things which is required for connecting from Excel to Access. One is the connection and the other one is connection string. So this connection is nothing but how we can connect from one application to another application, that is the database. Now this connection is happening based on the connection string. So what is this connection string? If you just go here and check, we have given a code here which is actually the default or the code which will be provided by the Microsoft or the database providers. Now if you see this, it says Microsoft.ace.oledb.12.0. This is the provider for the database. This connection string you don't have to by heart. This connection string will be given by each database providers, so you can take it from Google or anywhere and you can specify that this connection string, we cannot type it, or say we cannot create it. This is already there. It is something like our vehicle engine numbers, or say some the predefined numbers. Similarly, we have something called as this engine, where we have to provide this, say, connection string. So this string will help me in connecting from Excel to database. So one is connection and then the connection string. So when I say connection string, so I'm giving this, but I need to give where is this database located. But for this database located, so what I've done is I've kept this one database here. I'll just open it and I'll show you this database which is available here. I have the same data what we worked on the reports. Now if you go and check this, so what I have done is I kept that complete data. So if you're not from say SQL background, don't worry. This is just another application which will store the data, and we are connecting from Excel to this Access database and pulling the data to create the reports like what we did in the previous sessions. Now if you see the same data, what I've done is I've just captured here. Now I need to get this data to my Excel sheet here. That is, let's say in our WKS data sheet here. I don't have the data here. One way is, in our previous session, we copied and pasted the complete data set. And in our previous session, we saw how to get the data by individual files. We wrote some automation code and we got it from various Excel sheets and got the data here. Now what we are trying to do is we are trying to take the data from MS Access and put it into my Excel dashboard to create the reports. Now for this, what we did, we tried to create some connection and the connection string. Now I need to give the path. Path is nothing but where is this database located. So for this, what I have done is it is exactly in the same folder where we are writing the code. So for that, the previous session also I told, so we can give this something called as this workbook.path. This workbook.path, what it will do, it will give me the path of the file what I'm working. So this is what I'm working. So this is the path what we get, and we have the file here, that is database, which has the extension of .accdb. So for that, what I did, I'm just using this slash database.accdb. I got the path, I got the connection string. Now I need to create the connection by using this data type, or say the variable what I have here is conn, that is connection. This you can give anything. This is a variable name. This is the data type, right? Here what we should do is we'll say connection.open. So this will actually connect excuse me, my database, and I have to give the connection string. So when I use this connection string, so what it will do, it will open the connection and excuse me, it will take this connection string with the database what we have mentioned in the path, and it will connect. Once it is connected, so till here it will get connected. This is connected. Next one is I need to write the queries. Queries are nothing but the instructions what we are giving from Excel to the database to fetch the data. The queries can be something like this. Either I can get the data from the database, I can insert the data to the database, modify the data which is in the database, or I can delete the data which is in the database. So these are the four main important operations what we can do, or say functions what we can do from SQL. So first what we are trying to do is select. So if you don't know SQL, again I'm telling, don't worry, these are all SQL commands. So here what we're trying to do is select. For every operations I've given a code here, you can utilize this and just modify a little and you can work on it. So here what I've done is one code I've written for select, then I wrote code for insert, then we have update, and we have delete. Let's go and try the select. Most of the queries will happen by select. The select command, what it will do is it will select the data from the database, and then I need to put it into my Excel sheet. Now to get this data, when I'm saying I'm getting a data, that has to be stored somewhere. Like we say inti equals 100, that means that 100 is stored somewhere in the memory. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to select. So I've given a query here saying select star from mobile data. Mobile data is nothing but the table what we have here. Select star means it is actually selecting the complete entire data set what we have in this mobile data. So this data has to be taken and put it into my Excel sheet. So one way is I can go here, say Control C, Control V, that is manual. But in code, we cannot directly go to Excel and we can say that mobile data dot copy dot paste, because the technology itself is different, the application itself is different. It is not like Excel. We mention some range dot copy and paste. So if you see here in this access, will not have any row numbers or the column names. So here we'll have the column headers, that is depending on the columns what we create. So for that, what we should do is the complete data what we're actually taking, fetching or selecting, we should put it into one record set. Record set itself is a data type. For that, we have mentioned one something called as record set here. So when I say record set, this complete, say this data type what we have taken, this record set will hold the complete data which I am fetching from the database. Once I take this complete record set, so I'll say rs query, that is record set query as record set. So here I'm trying to run that. I'll say record set dot open. I'll give this query, that is what we have mentioned here, and we have to mention the connection of the database what we have mentioned, and this one is the type of data what we're taking. So this is I'll tell you what. So here we can take the data in different ways. One is we can modify, or we can make it as read only or something, so like that. So don't think too much about it. So what I've done is I've just taken it as key set. That means just to copy and paste. Okay, fine. Now once I get this record set that is there in the container, that is rs query, which is a record set, I need to paste it in my Excel sheet. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm taking this E11 of data sheet, that is WKS data. If you see here, I've taken this WKS data. So E11, this is where I need to paste. Let me go back to my code. So if you see this, I'll say copy from record set. So what is that record set? That is rs query. So this rs query, which is a record set, will contain a complete data. Now let me run this and I'll show you. Say F8. So here I've taken the path. The path is nothing but str path. Suppose if you want, you can just copy this, say Control G and put one question mark and paste this variable. You'll get the path here, like this. So this is the path. Right. Next, the connection string. So if you see this, the connection string is also ready for me. If you want that also, you can put it here. This is just to check the values here. See, this is the connection string. Right. Next, what we have is the connection what I'm trying to open. So this is the connection which is trying to open with this database. Now the connection is established. Now I'm giving this query. Query is nothing but the instruction to get the data. So I've given select star from mobile data. Now when I run this, so this will take the entire data from this query what we have mentioned in the mobile data table, and it will put it in this rs query variable. Now if I execute this, you go and check, see the entire data is mentioned. So why this database is used? When I have a huge data, it will be more faster and it will be very much easy for us to store a huge data in database and fetch that. Say for example, I'm creating a report just for say one brand. Say brand equals Nokia. Now I can go here, I can just change this, say query, I'll say where brand equals, I'll say Nokia. So I can filter everything here only. Now if I just run this, and if you go and check here, see I'll get data only for Nokia. I can create one drop down and I can put one variable here such a way that this brand will be filtered only, that data will come here. So depending on my requirement, I can change this query, but the code remains same. So this is a simple code. I've seen many people writing a very big code in internet, or say, if you go to Google, you'll get such big code, which is very difficult to understand. To connect to any database, especially this Access DB, I'll tell you two things first to keep in mind. One is connection and the connection string. These two things you keep in mind. This is for connecting from Excel to database. For any other database also, say SQL Server, or if you take this Oracle, even for SAS, you'll get this kind of strings. There is a website called as connectionstring.com. I'll send you that link for you. So if you go through that say website, you'll get complete list of all the database connection strings. So you can just give that connection string and you can connect and get the data, provided you should know that particular technology or say the database. So MS Access is easy, so I'm just trying to explain you with this. See, then I'll be changing only this query. So whatever query you are giving here, so depending on that query, I'll get the record set and that will get pasted here. So you can create anything. You can create one drop down here, or suppose if you think that you want to get the data, let's take, okay, I'll take this state and I'll put it in my data sheet. Same drop down I'm taking. Just for your sake, I'll just quickly show you, and I'll remove this macro which we had assigned previously. Okay. Now, if I select say Goa, I should get data only for Goa. If I select for Karnataka, I should get only data for Karnataka. This is from the database I'll take. So all this time I used to take the data from whatever we had here. Now we'll see how we can connect. Now I'm taking the state. So in this we have state. So what we'll do in the query, we'll try to change this. Instead of brand, I should mention now state. Now here the state has to change according to whatever I've selected here. So for this, what we have done in our menu sheet, let's go and check where is our menu sheet. So if you go here, let's go to the menu sheet. Is that? Yeah. So we had created here. This is where we are trying to get the value. So this one, just take him str state as string. This I'm just showing you how we can make it dynamic. Okay. Now I'll go here. Here I'll mention, say str state equals wks menu dot range of, we'll take this d3 dot value. Right. So I've taken this state. So state is nothing but whatever I'm selecting from the drop down. Let me go here. I will mention like this. So I created one query here such a way that says select star from mobile data, where state equals whatever state I'm selecting here. That state I'm trying to pass. All right. Now what we'll do, we'll take this macro and I'll try to assign to this drop down, assign macro, and we'll see where this will run. I told you always try to use this F8 so that once you feel that the code is fine, then only use it with the objects. That is where you are assigning it. See, I'm just trying to run this. Yes. See now, just fix this. See, only Andhra Pradesh is there. Right. Now what we'll do, we'll try to put one more code here, that is to clear, otherwise we'll have the old data also from E11. Say wks data dot range of E11 to M 1 lakh clear contents. So this will clear the old data and give me the new data. So right click, assign macro. We have assigned this macro here. Now let's try to run this. Let's say Goa. See, I'm getting only Goa here. So whatever query you are mentioning here, see, depending on that, I'll get the results here. And you can see it's coming very fast. Similarly, here also we can, if you go here, see, I have these drop downs. Here also I can mention the query and I can get the data. Whatever report I'm getting here, this one I'm getting it from doing some calculations and all these things. That also you can write a macro, say write a query, and then you can get the data here. So that is also possible. So if you think that you're very good in SQL, so you can create some queries and you can pass that here and you can execute it and create the reports. All right, this is for selecting the data. When I say select, the complete record source will be taken and put into this record source, and then I'm trying to copy the data and paste it in my Excel sheet. But coming to the other functions, insert. Now here we are not taking anything into record source. We're directly updating the data in my access table. Now if you see this, I have this mobile data. So here if you go and see, I have few brands. I need to insert one more new brand here. So what I'll do, I've used this insert into mobile data. Again, I'm not going to explain this SQL query because this itself is a different subject. I'm just trying to show you guys how you can use these queries in the Excel. Okay, fine. So here I'm trying to insert. So what I'm trying to do here, see, insert into mobile data. This is the data what we have here. If you go and check this, I have all the columns here. That column I have mentioned here. Now here we are saying rs query dot open, which this is the record set, and that I'm pasting it here. But here what you have to do is you don't have to use that record set. Here we have to mention that this connection dot execute. That means I'm trying to execute the query what we have written. That's all. Because it's not a record set. Here we are copying and pasting. Here we are trying to edit the data which is already available in the database. Now if you go and say F8, see, now the connection is open. Now here it is trying to take the query, and here I'm saying execute that query, say F8, and now if you go here and just say refresh, that Nokia, that new brand, whatever is there, that should be available. See, okay, that new data got entered here. That means the query what you have written here, that is getting executed. I want multiple queries, multiple inserts to happen, then you can go for loops. Fine. Next one, update. Update is to update the data which is existing. So let's say I have here brand, say 123. We just inserted. Now I need to update that to Nokia. So if you go and check this, I have a brand here, Nokia 123. I need to modify that into Nokia instead of Nokia 123. So what I've done, I've given a query here. Now if you see this, it's the same code for select, insert, and now I'm using the same code for update as well. But here I'm just changing only this statement, say that is update. So here it was insert, now I'm trying to update. Suppose if you want to use this query, you just have to go here and change a few things here, whatever you want to update, that's it. So you don't have to bother about again writing all this code. Let me run this and go and check here. Now that Nokia 123 should not be there because I'm trying to update it. See, that Nokia 123 is not there now. That Nokia 123, whatever was there, that has got updated to Nokia. So if you go and check, so we had something in Andhra Pradesh, I guess. Let's go and check. See this one, which was there. See, 48 it became Nokia here. Right. Next one is to delete. What delete will do is it will delete the mentioned data. Here I'm mentioning saying that where brand equals Nokia, what we'll do is we'll delete this one. This is actually product. Say Nokia Lumia 8001111. So this brand will try to delete. So I'll go here, just paste it here. Here I'll say product. Delete from this mobile data where the product name is equal to this one. Let me just close this. Now let me execute this. Now if you go and check, this product, whatever is there, should not be available. Let's go and check. Now in this Nokia, and here see that 800,001 whatever was there, that brand is not. So likewise you can use the query and then execute it. Again I'm telling you, the connection between the Excel and Access is very easy. What all things you should say remember is connection string. If I'm copying the record set, then I should use this record set. Otherwise you just have to say connection dot execute and mention the query, and you have to give what query I need to execute, whether it is select, insert, update, or delete. Right? Okay. This is for connecting from Access and working on the data set what we had. Right. The next one is about sending the mails. Sending mails, many people actually think that the sending mail from Excel through Outlook. I've seen many people coming and asking, sir, it's very difficult, so how to work on this? I'll tell you guys, this is very simple again. See, what I actually do is I'll try to make things very simple instead of making it complex. Everything is simple. Only thing is you have to understand the objects. Connecting to database was very simple. Just have to remove a few objects. Similarly, when I'm actually trying to send a mail from Excel through Outlook, that is also very simple. Here again, we have to remember a few objects. For that also what I've done is I've created one simple say code for you, but I'll tell you what actually you should remember here. When I'm actually trying to write a macro for sending mails, two things here you have to keep in mind. One is the application, other one is the mail. This is again very similar to your PPT automation. Let me go back here. I use this application, presentation, and slide. Same thing here. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the application and the mail. So what this application will do? So here I'm trying to create one object that is Outlook.application. So this creates an application Outlook. Now in this application, what we have created, we have to create one item that is the mailbox, the mail, whatever we are sending. When I say set output, suppose if you think you want to work on that, let me just show you. Because I think this Outlook you can understand. Sub send mail. So first thing what you should do is dim, say Outlook app as object. I'll just take it as an object. Dim out mail as object. See, these two things you create first. Now if you want to have that application to be created, I'll say set out app equals say create object, and I'll say outlook dot application. Then within this I'll create one item that is mail. Say out dot create item. So here the index start from 0 because the object will start from 0. That's it. So if you go and see only these two things I have done. One is the application, other one is the create item for mail. Now here when I'm actually trying to send a mail, see what I'll do. Few things you should remember. Say with out mail end with. Now one is to which ID I'm sending. Then suppose if you have CC, I'll say CC equals CC which I'm sending dot BCC equals if you have any BCC to send. So this mail whatever is there here, it will have two CC and BCC. Right. Next will be the subject. So what is the subject? The title. What we are actually using that subject. Say dot subject equals. I'll mention the subject. The next, the content. For that we call it as body equals. I'll mention the body. Right. Now suppose if you're sending just without any attachment, this is enough. Now I'll say dot send. That's all. One is I created application, then I created the item. Then for this I'm saying to, if I'm sending to someone with the email ID I have to mention here. CC if I have to put some CC here. Then here dot BCC, that means if any BCC is there. Here I'm mentioning the subject and I'm mentioning the body. Dot send will send the mail. If you want, you can also say dot display, which will help me in displaying without sending, or before sending it will just display, and then if I use dot display it will display, and say dot send it will send. Right. Suppose if you want to have some attachments, I'll say dot attachments dot add, then I'll give the path. See, that is all what you have to remember. That's all. This is for one mail. I'll tell you how to use for multiple mails. We remembered application, then create item. That is nothing but the mail. In that mail, I used to use this 2cc bcc. If I'm not using these two, then you can remove it, or I'll just comment it. See, these two are important. That is subject and body is required. Attachments, if it is not there, then I'll just comment it. See, if you want to send, I'll say dot send. That's all. If you remember this, any mails you can easily send. Let's go up. This is what we have done here. Let's understand this code. See, same thing. Here what I've done, I use the email ID. Here CC and BCC I'm not using. If you don't want, I can just remove it. Just for your sake, I just put it here. Then subject I've used hi there. This body, I'll just say body. I'll say body. I'll say str data. Str data is nothing but a string. Here what I've done, in this I have a sheet, say WKS mail. So this content I'm taking directly, I can take, or what I've done, I've taken it into one variable, then I'm using it. So when I run this, see, let me run this and show you. Application is created, mail is created, then I've taken that data which I'm trying to send. Then here I'm trying to send it to iTech Analytic Solutions at gmail.com. Then I've taken the subject, then the body, whatever was there in this say variable, that is put into body. I'm not sending now. If I say send, it will directly send without showing. I'll say display. So what it will do, it will open that Outlook. See, Outlook is opened. I'm sending it to iTech Analytic Solutions, and here the subject is hi there, and here I'm trying to mention it, say this to send whatever that content is there, this one. Now suppose if I give this CC, let's say in CC, I'll give it as inquiry.its@gmail.com. Now let me run this. I'm running the same code. See, I'm going to display. Now you can see this. See, I got this. Right. Close this. This is when I'm trying to send only one mail. And here if you see, I have only one ID in the to section. Assume that I have multiple email IDs. There are so many email IDs. I need to send this a one mail but with multiple IDs. Remember, one mail, multiple IDs. In that case, the IDs, whatever we have, this should be looped. The number of IDs are there, that should be looped. So for that, what I have done here, I've taken one count, say count A, and I'll take the entire email IDs, how many are there, because I need to make this loop dynamic. Now I have three email IDs, and these three email IDs should be sent with only one mail. So for that, what I've done, see here, I have used the same thing here, but the loop what we have here, say for int I equals 1 to int m, nothing but this one, say m3, this. That means I'm trying to take these three into one string. So if you see here, I have one string here, that is str mails. So I'm trying to take that within this loop, only the mail IDs I'm looping, and then again same code what we have here, that I'll be using here. But here instead of two, I'm using this str mails which I'm trying to loop it, that is this one. So this will actually append all this into this variable, and now I'm taking this here. Now let's say I'll go here, I'll try to take those three IDs into this. See, now those three IDs are available in this str mail string. Now this is only one mail I'm sending. So if you go here, if I say display, so this will take all the email IDs here. This is one mail, multiple IDs. Right. Next is, suppose I want to send multiple IDs, say individual mails for individual IDs here. Say one mail for this, one mail for this, one mail for this. In that case, this part, whatever we are trying to send the mail, this one should be inside the loop because we are trying to send more emails. So same code here, what we have done only for the IDs. Now this entire code will go inside this, but this mail ID, whatever is there, that will not be looped. See here what I've done, I've taken this, the entire code. If you see here, so this is the code what we had written, right? This one with this str data, just see, this is the code what we had written previously, and this part, whatever was there, the create item, that is the mail, that also has gone inside the loop. If you see here, see this one. Why? Because now I have to generate individual mails for individual IDs. Now if you see here, I've taken this mail ID, that is this one by one inside the loop. That is only one ID. Just for reference, I've taken one name also here to show you guys that individual mails have been sent to these names. So I've taken one more variable, that is name, just to mention the name. In the body, what I've done is, just to differentiate between different mails, I've used this name, dear, and this name, and here I'm taking the content and regards. Let's see this. See, one application is created. This is not inside the loop. This is only one application I've created. Now I'm taking this number of times I need to loop, that is 3, which is nothing but what we have taken the count. The next we are trying to loop for individual mails. The first thing, I'm creating one mail, then I'm taking the mail ID. If you see here, I got the first mail ID, this one. Then I'm taking the name also, this one. Then here I'm taking the content, and then when I say 2, this is nothing but the first email ID what was there. I don't have any CC or BCC. The subject I've taken this time with the name. If you see this, I've taken this name here in variable, and that I'm using here so that it will be like we're taking it dynamic names here. If it, now I'll say display. If you see here, see, iTech Analytic Solutions, I'll say hi iTech, and here I have the content. Here it says dear iTech, whatever. Let's go back. I'll not close this. Now this is going to the second loop. Now here one more email is getting created, and here it's taking the second email ID, which is there here, this one, and then this name it is taking, and then it is creating the content. Now this 2 will take this second email ID, then here it's creating the body, and when I say display, see, I have 2 different emails. If you go here and check, see, this is inquiry, and here this says dear inquiry, because I've taken the dynamic name here. Fine, let me run again. Now here one more email which is getting created. Now it is displaying, see, now the third email ID is also created. So likewise, I have to first think whether I need to send individual multiple mails or multiple email IDs with single mail. So what I have done, I have given all the code for different types. So you can use this also to send the mails. Again, I'm telling you, writing a code for sending mails is very easy. Only 2 objects what you have to think, that is the application and the mail, that is create item. That's all. After that, you just have to mention that 2 or CC or BCC, then subject or body. If you want to have some attachments, you can go and you can attach this, say dot add, it will get attached, and say display to display the content, or if you directly want to send, you say dot send. So for that, what I did, I just showed you guys one pseudo code, or say skeleton of this code I've given to you. So use this and you can write the macro and you can send the mails. That's all. This is very simple actually. So don't think that sending email ID, the emails through Excel macros is complex. It is very, very simple. Right. The next topic what we have is about the security. Okay, security.
One second, I just have a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
This refers to the emails that we are sending from Excel to Outlook, right? So can't we add a signature? I mean, the signature that we will have it in Outlook.
See, there are so many objects. Okay, say for example, now what I've shown is to send the mail. You can have signatures. You can have, there are a lot of objects actually. So for that, what I'll do is I have one website. Okay, that website has got complete, say, from 0 to 100% of complete from Excel to Outlook, whatever is there, the connections, right from sending a workbook to worksheet to range and to have all kind of options. Okay, so that is again, you just have to go and keep inserting the so what is that what to say, objects. That's it. So you can send with signature as well. Anything can be done. Only thing is it's about the objects. Keep adding.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, it just you have to go and keep adding the objects. That's it. I will be sending you one website wherein it's very nice, very simple. Even we actually refer that website itself when you get stuck. That's very nice. And there are some almost some 50 to 60 codes for different objects of only Outlook. Okay, that website is meant only for Outlook. So you can refer that, and there are so many codes which will actually match your requirements. You can use that. So I'll send, once this class is done, I'll send you that code also. Okay, we can utilize that. Right. The next one I was talking about is security. Security means what? The protection. For every dashboards what we send, that should be protected. The protection can happen, one is from the sheet or from the code. When I say I want to protect this from sheet wise, suppose, let me see if this has got the code. Yeah, see here, I have the code here. Now let me just try to change this. So I'm getting some code here. I think we have removed that. I think we removed that data here. That's why it's not coming. So what we'll do, just take the data. So we just removed the data, so it's not coming. Just run this query. So we have removed the data. So the data was not there, so I was not getting the report. Okay. See here. Now when I change this, I'm getting some reports here. But if I'm not securing it, secure in the sense, see, anybody can go here, they can delete this. Again, if I go and change this, see, this will come, I can remove this. So the user has got an option where he can modify anything here. Let me go here, I'll change this, again I'll get this, but still he can delete. If he's deleting this data, it is fine. What if he's deleting this chart itself like this? This should not happen. So we need to protect it. So how to protect this? I'll tell you. One is, we'll go to this review and I'll say protect sheet. I'll just say, okay, it is protected. But see now, let me run this code. What will happen? See, I'm getting this error. Why? Because we have protected the sheet and now I'm not able to do anything here. I'm not able to copy and paste anything here because the code what we have written is do some actions and then copy and paste the data here, which will not allow because we have protected it. But how to protect this as well as it has to run the code? So these things actually will come under security, where we should use the code. So this, it's not that you have to do it in the end, this you have to do it in the beginning only while writing the code. So why I'm actually showing now is to understand that what is the importance of this security. That is how to protect the sheet. Now let me just take this, I'll just unprotect it, assign macro. I'll go here. See, this is the report what we are trying to generate. That is, this is the code what you have written. Now what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll add one more code. That is, what is the sheet? That is double case report brand. I'm just trying to add one code here. Dot unprotect. So I'm trying to unprotect it in the beginning. Next, all these codes will run. In the end, what I'll do, I'll say dot protect. So first it will unprotect, run all the code. It will do all that copy paste or delete or whatever it is doing. In the end, it is protecting. Now let me go back. See, I'll just delete. So it is unprotected, I mean, it's not protected. I'm able to delete everything. Now let me go here. I'll say units. See, now I got this data. The same code I've trying to run. See, now I cannot delete. Why? Because I've written a code here. If you want, you can give the password also here. Say I'll just give 123. Just give a space and say 123. But if you're given a password, same thing has to be mentioned here also. Because here, when I'm giving a password 123 while unprotecting, it has to mention that password as well. Let me go here. See, I'm not able to edit. Now let's say I'll say unprotect. Let's go here. Let's give the password. It's not taking. Actually, it should take. I don't know why it's not taking. So, see, I think it's, see. So what we have done, we given one password here. Now, if I run this, let's say units, it's coming. Now I'm not able to delete it. Now let's try to unprotect it. See, it asks for the password. Let me give 123. It will not take because we given the code, say ABC 123. So like this also you can protect. This is for protecting the sheets. So wherever you think that the sheets has to be protected, okay, so give this code unprotect and the password if you want you can give, otherwise you can ignore the password also. The thing is, if you ignore the password, then anyone can unprotect it and then they can work on it. All right, this is the report level security. All right, for every reports whatever we have created here, you can use this unprotect and protect. The next one is protecting the code. Now if you see this, I have this code written, so many things I've written here, so anybody can go and they can modify it or say they can delete the code. I have to secure this code whatever is there. So what I'll do, just right click anywhere in the PB editor here in this project explorer. I'll say properties. When I say properties, here I have something called as protection. This one. Click on that protection. Here it says lock project for viewing. Enable this. Here I have this password. Give the password. Let the password be a little bigger. Bigger in the sense, don't give some 25-30 characters. It will become difficult to remember. Now let's say I'll put it as same ABC 123. Here again I'll say ABC. This is for confirm. Both should be same. I'll say okay. Now this code is protected. Now what I'll do, I will close this. Close this Excel. Say save. Right? It got closed. Now let me open this workbook again. So whenever you give the password, it has to be closed and opened. Let me open that workbook. Now I'll go to this editor. See, I cannot see the code because it is secured. Now I'll say ABC123 enter. Now I can edit this. If you want to change the password, say right click again, properties, you can go here, you can change the password here and say okay, and again you have to close and open the file. As of now, I'll just remove this and I'll just save so that you can use this file. When I'm sending this file, you can use this without password, and when you are actually writing a code and if you want to do it, then you can create a password by just right click on this project explorer and say VP projects protection, and we can give this code here, or say the password here, and then close and open, you'll get the password. All right, next one is about finalizing this dashboard. You create any number of reports, automations in that, whatever you're doing. Finally, when you're actually giving this to the client, so what you have to do is you have to make sure few things. The checklist. After all this security and all these things, when I'm actually giving the dashboard to the client or someone, make sure that only the report sheet, whatever is there, the report what you see here, only that has to be visible. Rest all should be hidden. See, all this should not be shown because these calculations and all the user should not see. So how to hide this? There are many ways. You can either do it through code or you can do it through manually or whatever. But when you are actually hiding, some people have the habit of hiding something like this. Say go here and say hide. This is also fine, but the user can go here, right click, say unhide, and he can unhide it and you can see. Then what we can do, there are different ways. Go to this VB editor. So what you do is here just see what all I should hide. Say WKS home should not be hidden. The sheet 2, which says sheet 1, I'm not sure whether that's the reporting sheet. Let's go and check. So this is nothing to do with the reports, or I don't have any data. If you think that anything is like this, just delete it, don't keep this. Or if you think that I'm using this sheet, then if you want to hide it, what you do is just say F4, you'll get this property window. Here in visible, if you see here, I have this visible, make it very hidden. I'll tell you what is the advantage of very hidden. If I go here, see that sheet 1, whichever was there, it is hidden. If I go here, see, I'll not get that unhidden. Let me do that quickly for all these things. Say logos, I'll select and I'll say very hidden. Then the sheet 3, I don't know what it's there, I'll just make it as very hidden. So whichever you feel that to be hidden, say this menu sheet, all this which are non-report sheet, everything should be hidden. Say variable sheet, that also I'll try to hide. Give very hidden so that the user cannot go and right click and say unhide. So why I'm telling this to have this underscore calc, it will become easy for me to understand that yes, this has to be hidden. See, I'm selecting all those sheets which are non-report sheets, and even this data also. Let's go here quickly, we'll see WKS data. Yes, this also will hide, very hidden. Let's go back. Now if you see only those sheets which are of the report will be available here. So anyways, we have this the buttons, so user can go here and you can use the buttons here. Fine. This first thing, so you have to hide all the sheets which are not for reports. Only the report sheet should be visible. Fine. Next, the rows and the headers, the columns, what you see are the column headers, the row headers and the column headers. This has to be hidden so that you'll get more space. Let me go here, say view and say headings. Same thing, let's do it here. So wherever it is there, just try to hide this. So all the rows and the column headers are hidden. And make sure that the grid lines are also hidden. Here we have removed the beginning only. Suppose if you think that it is there, then you can remove that as well. And finally, this one, what you see are the sheet tabs, that also has to be hidden. So I'll go here, file, options, say advanced, scroll down. Here you'll have the show sheet tabs, say if you want you can do that through code also. I'll say alt F11. here we have something called as this workbook. So I can write some code here directly, so that as soon as I open, these things will happen automatically. So let me go here. I'll select this workbook. So it's a workbook dot workbook underscore open. So this code will execute once the say dashboard is opened. Now what we'll do is, if you open a page, so what will happen, this dashboard, it will open automatically wherever I've last saved sheet. So what I want is always it has to open with this front page. So for that I can go here, say this WKS home is sheet 1 here. Let me rename that. I will rename WKS home. It'll say WKS home dot activate. So if I say as soon as the workbook opens, it will open this page only. Fine. Now I'll say application dot display full screen equals true. So what this will do, it will display complete full screen. So all this will be hidden. Right. Next step, say active window dot display grid lines equals false. That means remove the grid line. So what I'm trying to do is, instead of again and again doing it manually, so as in it's open, so all these things should run. Let me copy this and I'll paste it here. Active window dot display headings equals false. The headings also will be hidden. Now here active window dot display workbook tabs equals false. That means the workbook tabs, whatever was there here, that also will be hidden. So I don't have to do it manually. So whatever I want, as soon as the workbook opens, as soon as the dashboard opens, whatever I need to do, so that I can do it in this workbook open code. Fine. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll go to some other sheet here, say some sheet I saved. Now let me close this file. Now let me say file, and I'll open that file. So as soon as I open, it should open in the first sheet. See, full screen, first sheet. Now everything should happen based on the links. So I'm not given this link here. If I give the link, so everything should happen with the links only. Say right click. Let's give that link also. Let's say I need to go to this sheet. See, it will go here. Then I have to go and use these things. So everything should happen based on the links only. So I can also give one home button here. Click on the second, I'll go back to home, or I can check the reports here like this. So this is how you actually have to plan the dashboards.